Hello friends, Mick here. It's Saturday the 11th of May. Yesterday we put out a video on Always On pedals. Had loads of great comments, thank you very much. You can see all the responses to those in the Monday VCQ. I've come into the office today because I had to process some audio. We had Dave Gregory in just recently, formerly of the band XTC, who did a show with us about 12-string guitars and took us through his lovely Rickenbackers, among many other awesome stories. And also we had MkII in on the same day, so I processed the audio for that as well. Simon's editing those on Monday. Today I've come in, I actually came into the office to do that, and I got a text message last night from a dear friend of mine, Stu Williams. We used to work together at Future Publishing when I was editor of Guitarist, and Stu was actually editor of Total Guitar. Anyway, Stu said, I think the text said, do you want to play Mr. Jones with us tomorrow night? And I'm like, great. And then I remembered another very dear friend of ours, Joby. It's his 40th birthday party tonight. And they're going to play a few songs. There's a few people going to play. So I thought, yeah, I'd love to play. That would be brilliant. Thank you very much for asking. However, my massive pedal board would be way too ostentatious to take to that, and it's would be a bit distasteful, I think. So I thought, but I do need a couple sounds, so I thought I'll put together a tiny board because I don't know what amp I'm going to be plugging into. So I thought maybe that would be an interesting vlog. I'll just vlog putting the board together, and you can see some of the thought processes. Happy birthday, Joby. Joby is an absolutely top class photographer, like a world-class photographer across all genres, but also in rock. Joby took this picture, among many others, during our career and his career in 2008 when we went to Hyde Park. Sorry, it's a terrible reflection on the screen there. But anyway, I think we had maybe 10 minutes to get that shot. And if you've ever done a professional photo shoot, you'll know that 10 minutes isn't very much time. And there was dear John in really brilliant posing mood, and Joby got that shot, among many others. Joby sessions. Anyway, happy birthday, Joby. And we're going to be playing, or at least I'm going to join them on a couple of songs tonight. So, pedalboard. Pedalboard cam, as you can see. What do I need? So, this would be on my new Schmidt Array Tiny 250 or whatever it's called board, except my dear friend Daniel Steinhardt keeps forgetting to bring it. Dan, can you please bring it on Monday? So it's on the dear old pedal train Metro 16, which I've modified here with this additional piece of wood so that I can get a generator under there somewhere, and it won't foul the ground when it's on the ground. How did I do that? I suspect if you peel this back, you can see through here a screw. So it's just drilled and screwed all the way through. There. Hang on, get the pedal cam. There, and there. So that's how I did that. Right, so what do I want on the board? I want some stuff that's going to enable me to cover a bunch of sounds and have a bit of fun. I think Even Flow is on the set list by Pearl Jam. So MkII. Oh, by the way, honk for Dave Gregory, honk for MkII, honk. I might have interviewed MkII on the phone once, maybe. Not really a full honk for that. So, Fuzz, Jesse Davey, the little fuzz there. So I think that's going to be number one. King Tone fuzz. This thing is sticking out of it incidentally because it is a reverse polarity pedal. So you mustn't just stick center negative power into that. It must have center positive. So that is a polarity reverser. Interestingly enough, it also has an equivalent of Dan's virtual battery in there. So it kind of, the power thing sounds a bit like a battery, given that lots of people like their fuzzes to run off batteries, not off power supplies. So that's going to be number one. As you can see, in the usual fashion on the board here, in all of the pedal board builds that Dan has ever done and has taught me well, soft side of Velcro on the board, pedal board tape on the pedal. Now, This is some stuff that's been put on there just to attach it loosely to the pedal board when we're filming. I prefer 3M dual lock, which is what we refer to as pedal board tape. Actually, this isn't quite as good as the stuff that Dan sells on the TheGigRig, but it will do the job. So, cutting device, little squares like this, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just do this on here. So you can see that. This much pedal tape is enough. I try and avoid the screws so that if the back's got to come off, it can come off without any problem. So there you go, 4 little squares on there like that, and then that is enough to hold that pedal on there very strongly indeed. Won't put it down hard yet because I've got some other stuff to get on there. Now, what else do I want? I want a fuzz, I want a vibe, I want an overdrive, and I want a delay. I want to get that on there, but I don't think it'll fit, which is kind of annoying. I mean, it would just about fit. Actually, that may well work. So we go side-mounted jacks, top-mounted, side, top. So that might actually work. This polarity reverser, annoyingly, is straight. So that means if I come that way at all on the pedal board, it's going to overhang the edge, and that's going to foul the edge and get potentially get snapped. So okay, so that'll be the layout. I'll then use a Quartermaster 4 because a lot of people say surely for just 3 or 4 pedals you don't need a true bypass loop switcher. All I'll say is, having heard it and used it for years now, along with Dan's power system, I wouldn't go back at this point because of the advantages that it gives you in terms of signal strength and clarity, quiet operation, etc, etc. So if there's any opportunity to use Quartermaster, I will take it. And I apologise if I keep looking up there. There's a screen. That's into the camera. That's into the screen. What power do I need? I will need a generator. So the power from the wall comes in here. And then the generator then outputs that power to a distributor. So this takes the power from the wall. You plug that in there. And then this goes off to all the other pedals. This doesn't provide isolation from ground loops and all of that. So you then need an isolator. What I don't know, so the Fuzz takes almost next to no current, so that's fine. I don't need to worry about that. The Deja Vibe, similarly, because it's analog, takes next to no current, but it does take 18 volts, so I'm going to need an 18 volt adapter. The Analog Man Maxon AD9 with Bad Bob booster, again, takes next to no current, so that's fine. The Epoch Deluxe, I don't know what the current draw on that is, so I'm going to have to check that just to make sure that everything is fine. But what will happen is the generator will go on here somewhere. Make sure we can see that in Pedalboard cam. The generator will go on here somewhere. The distributor will go somewhere near it, and the isolator will go somewhere near it. And it might be that I need a high current adapter for this, and potentially an 18 volt for the Deja Vibe if I can fit it on. Right, so that's the introduction. That's what's going to happen. These 4 pedals and this Quartermaster are going on this board. I'm going to do the bulk of that work and spare you the pain of it, and then we'll come back in a few minutes. Oh, by the way, white tea. Ed O'Brien came in and he brought some white tea, and then I was very lucky. A few weeks later, Simon, our producer Simon, got a gig filming some stuff for Ernie Ball with Johnny Marr. Actually did one with Frank Turner as well. But so you have a look on the Ernie Ball string theory thing on YouTube and check out the one with Johnny Marr. Simon filmed that. Anyway, Simon needed an extra pair of hands for the day, so hired me as his oppo to go along and do the audio and interview Johnny. And Johnny Marr also had white tea. Johnny, thank you so much. And Ed, thank you so much for the introduction to white tea. And it's very enjoyable indeed. Try it, white tea. This seems like a good a time as any for a quick interjection. You've just seen a time-lapse, like slow-mo, fast-mo, whatever it's called, thing. So just to recap then. Sorry if this looks a bit upside down on the pedal camera. So I've got to the point where I've laid everything out on the bottom of the board where it comes into the generator. Let's do this, that might help. It comes into the generator. It comes out to the distributor, and then that gives power to these other three things. Now, what I've done inadvertently here is included two pedals that are a bit of a pain. One which requires 18 volt, so I need a doubler for 9 to 18 volts. And one which I'm not sure, because I think this runs on regular, like 120 milliamps, but I'm not sure, so I've put a Time Lord on there as well, which will give it up to 500 and something, which is perfectly safe to do. But then if I swap it out for another pedal that needs, that has a higher power requirement, I'm basically covering my bases here. This looks unnecessarily complicated and expensive for a tiny little board, but do it properly. We've got the stuff to hand, so do it properly. So what I'm going to do now is the leads come in. I'm just going to tidy them up and send them off to the pedals up the top, and also I need to power the quartermaster as well. So it looks untidy because I haven't snipped anything off yet and I haven't tidied it up. So that's where we are. That's how the power underneath works. And bear in mind, this is a pedal train Metro 16, so you've got all that horsepower. No, that's not very good. You've got all that horsepower underneath there to power these pedals cleanly, efficiently, and without any horrible noise. Cool, okay, back soon. Because it's a really tight board, you've got to think about being able to get stuff like patch leads up to the pedals while cramming the pedals into a small space, and then I'll tidy all the cabling up last. So I've put the Belle Epoch on here, and I've put that all the way up as far left as it will go, sensibly and safely. And the next thing back from that is going to be this. Just need another little piece of that on there. Sorry, when I said this, I meant the Tube Screamer Bad Bob combination, which I should say is just an awesome mod of the Maxon OD9 platform. And then Mike does the 808 mod on it, Mike Analog Man, hello Mike. And also included this extra switch here, does the Bad Bob boost, which is brilliant, and that's got its own little knob there for the level. So what I need to do with this one, if we take this pedal placement as an example, I need to make sure I can get my cable to go from the send up to the input of the Belle Epoch Deluxe, but also that I have enough room out of here to run this back here. Now, I'm going to do something that you probably shouldn't do, which is place it so close that you can't get it out, but I've got no option today because the pedals are only just going to fit on there, so I'm going to have to do that. So if it doesn't work, I'm in trouble, or if it breaks down, I'm in trouble. That's where we are. So I've got a bunch of patch cables here that are already made. If I don't have to make any more, I'm going to try not to. Might mean that some of them are a bit too long, so I'm going to use the shortest one here. And one of the shorter ones just to do this. Best practice says you should probably test your patch cables. Yep, but again, having done this many times, I'm relatively confident that they work. They all work, and if they don't, well, yep, then I'm going to have a problem, and I'm going to have to pull it all apart and be really annoyed by that. But anyway, let's play fast and loose. Next up is this, so I need to get that in here. So again, I need a really short one. I might actually make some short ones because it's just too much cable. Don't do this at home. Yeah, just don't do this at home. I can never quite remember how much to strip off, but there we go. Maybe that's too much. Oh well, doesn't matter. I do have a little one of Dan's little yellow stripper things, but I haven't quite worked out how to cut it without cutting through the insulation wires. I'm just not very adept at that, whereas this I can feel the blade go through, just touch the edge of the wires and not cut them. So for anyone who's not made one of these before, you strip it back, you put all the ground wire back like that, you make that into a braided little bit there, you then chop a little bit off this. I know it's horrific, isn't it? I should really not be doing this. I might just be singing tonight, not playing the guitar, right? Now, Evidence very kindly did actually send us a bag of these. So, yeah. Dan has demonstrated this many times before, but the end of the wire is solid. It's a solid core, and it goes into the end of the plug, like this, and you screw it on. Hence, screw in solderless. I'm not going to pull that too hard because being such a short cable, it will pull the core right through. So then you bend it over and you screw the end on. And that will be a nice connection. It's quite weird actually. You almost get a feel for when one's not going to work, because you've done it too quickly or what have you. I should just say that normally I would have a little board like this just available for stuff like this. So it's all made up with everything that we're putting on here today. You know, a little switcher, powered up, ready for pretty much any pedals to go on there. But John, bass player in Joey Landreth's band, they did a little pre-rehearsal here at TPS, pre-tour, just to make sure everything was working and get their gear all in order and everything. And John's pedalboard was playing up, and I took a look at it and I was like, we can't, you know, you can't go out on the road with that. You need a little Quartmaster, and the GigRig Power, just to keep it clean and easy. So I gave him my my kind of day-to-day board, and we put his pedals on there. He has a compressor, I think an overdrive and a preamp or something. And I'm proud to say that it's working and he's very happy. So that's butted up there nicely. I should have a little 18 volt. So we go back underneath, and underneath, I think I mentioned before that the Deja Vibe has, which I've squashed between the pedal and the bottom of the pedal board. So that's okay, I can come up there and go in there. So that's getting nice 18 volts, 9 in, 18 out. So it's getting 18 volts, which means it has lovely high headroom and sounds jolly nice to boot. Okay, final stages. I've got everything mounted. I have failed a little bit actually, because on this right hand side here, I am going over the end of the pedal board, so it wouldn't quite fit. I mean, there's probably another 2mm there, 2mm there, so I could have got it a bit closer, but anyway, that's about as packed on there as it can be. So it means that these two connections here are vulnerable, so I just need to be careful about that. But anyway, we are in, the audio's done. There we go, the audio's done. I haven't tested it, so I'll test it in a minute, and we can hear what it sounds like. Power, I've got power to the two less than standard pedals, although I think this is standard, this one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Power to the two problematic pedals. All I've got to do now is get power to the Tube Screamer and the Fuzz, so we'll turn it over. And this will give us the opportunity to tidy up and finish. So these both need to come off an isolator, because they both need to be to have no noise and be grounded. So this one off the distributor here, this little cable here is not being used for anything. So you can go. Don't require you. Why can't you run the pedal straight off the distributor? You can. Won't harm it, but it won't be isolated. Won't be. It will still be susceptible to some noise. So I need to get one here, and this one is already connected, so I don't need to worry about that. So I can connect that one there. Nice. And then I need to get one up to here, and oh, look at that. So this isolator had been used before on another board and had some wires already connected to it. I deliberately didn't disconnect them because chances are they would have been okay. However, I do want to run it through that little cable tidy thing there. But, okay, little time calculation. It'll take me a few minutes to disconnect and reconnect it, so I'm not going to bother. I'm going to run that up to the TS. Now I've got a bunch of cable here that I don't really know what to do with, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to wrap it up like that. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to use a little cable tie in one of these awesome little things. So that's kind of tidy enough. I mean, you know, it's just for a little mess about with some friends. It's not the wall tour in Venezuela, Argentina and the rest of South America. So I think that'll be fine. I've left enough space to get my IEC in here. That's tidy enough. The little OCD part of me wants to put a bit of tape on there because that's annoying me a bit. But otherwise that's, you know, that's tidy enough and it's going to work. This is annoying. So I'm going to find another solution of that, another solution for that before gig o'clock. Cool, done. 4 independent true bypass loops, powered 9 volt DC center negative, input and output jacks. Let's go and plug it in and see how we get on. Hello again. Right, the moment of truth. Check this guitar's in tune. I've set up the pedals, turned them all on, got some settings dialed in. Close enough for rock and roll. Victory V40. Hopefully there'll be something as nice as that there tonight to play. We'll see. But whether it's a Hot Rod Deluxe or a whatever it is, hopefully I can make this work. All right. So let's start with the nice sounding things. Let's start with the delay, the Belle Epoch Deluxe. So here's the Victory on its own. Yeah, cool. So it's caving the front of the Victory massively with the three things stacked together. But what I've got there is three separate levels of gain. I've got a nice clean boost in the Bad Bob, or, you know, like a slightly edgy boost in the Bad Bob. The mid-range of the Tube Screamer, the crazy fun of the Fuzz, and then a bit of wobbly and some delay. I think that'll work great. I think we'll have some fun with that. Cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. A quick board. Well, not that quick as it turned out, but it felt quick when I woke up this morning and thought, yeah, I'll just put a little board together to go out and have some fun with tonight. Tucks away easily on a stage somewhere, so it's not problematic, or it's not showing off or anything. So yeah, should have some fun with that. Cool. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you on Monday or Tuesday or Friday, depending on whenever you join us next. Okay, bye. Okay, quick addendum. After bemoaning Dan forgetting to bring my new MkII pedal board. Oh, the gig was okay, by the way. It's now a week after, almost a week after. The gig was okay. It was good. I had an AC30, a hand-wired AC30, which I used. I'm going to have to go because the next interviewee has just turned up. Yes, we're interviewing today. It was good. It was great fun. It sounded good. The board performed well. The fuzz got a bit lost in the mix. But no, it was great. It was great fun and it all performed well. So after bemoaning Dan not bringing my new MkII, the next morning, after finished filming the blooming vlog and editing it, it turned up. Check that out. Seafoam green. I'll do some details of this in a second. But it has arrived, and I'm going to put a small board together for the next video. That'll be the next video. Okay, as I'm talking, there will be details and you can see how cool this is. So thanks for watching. The new MkII has turned up. The new mini board will get built, and that'll be another vlog in time. Good. All right. Have a good week. See you soon.